Hi, this is Carol. Oh, I am feeling nostalgic today. I was looking at some videos from Kauai, and that was a precious time. Feeling like I was in paradise during that time really changed my life. I want you to know that um, I put on here beautiful, and I was putting on some of Carole King's lyrics. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world. And I'm a singer, so this is hard for me to say without singing. All the love in your heart, people are going to treat you better. You're going to find, oh, yes, you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. And I know Carole King didn't feel beautiful. Um, and I think she wrote those words in order to try to resonate with that. And so as I was growing up, I was I don't know if you want to say I was the ugly one in the family, but everybody has a role that they're kind of given. And I was given the role of, it's a good thing you're smart. And I let that rule me for the first, I would say, 29 years of my life. And in some ways, a lot longer than that. I didn't know I was beautiful. It took me a while to fake it till you make it and all of this stuff in order to realize that my mom said that to me, maybe because she felt that way. Um, I wasn't the one in her eyes that was pretty. And so I didn't get that role. However, not getting that role ended up keeping me safe from a whole lot of things that could have happened to me if I had that role. And so now I look back, I'm flipping things in my mind, things that I have resonated as possibly not positive experiences. Now I'm looking at that transformational coach in me. I'm looking at all the things in my life and how they've benefited me, even though at the time I thought I was a victim for that, and I held on to that, and it didn't do any good for me. And I talk about unmasking therapy. I'm going to be launching, I don't know, Joe would have to tell you, we're in the works of working on that website. But it's taking off these masks. One of those masks I was carrying was that I didn't have beauty, that I was the ugly one. And I remember people telling me, that I was beautiful. I was convinced they were saying that because they felt sorry for me. Because I didn't hear that when I was growing up, I didn't believe that. And maybe that's a good thing for many reasons. I certainly don't lead with what I think is of my beauty. I also don't lead with what I think is my intellect. Even though I've been told I'm pretty smart, I don't care. What I care about is that I connect to your heart, and this is where I can go, is those places that if I can connect human to human and heart to heart and inspire you to be an inspiration, that's all I want out of life. And that's why I've done these videos. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I want to help to light a flame that lights the whole friggin' world on fire, that makes the difference to inspire everybody. Because humanity is stuck in shame. And part of my shame, part of that had to be unmasked, was the part of me that said, you're not beautiful. And so I was looking at a video in Kauai. I was looking at the one, well, several of them. I was dying during that time, and I knew it. After the word from God, that's when I heard from my doctor that I was dying, and that's probably the stupidest thing you could have said, because I lost hope for like a brief moment. And I mean a brief moment, because then I decided to put on my battle gear and fight for everything I had. But I'm a survivor. I am not somebody that gives up. And I've had to survive a lot, and I've had the privilege to survive a lot. So I was looking at the video of me saying I choose life, and I realized the courage it took me to do that video was bigger than I realized. And maybe this whole series of videos that I've been working on almost 2 years, showing myself through my journey of my life, is also courageous. So beautiful. I've been called that for a long time. And for a long time, I thought people felt sorry for me. And that's the lies that we live in our head, the self-talk, the toxic shame that we get stuck in. The shame of, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. That's all recovery talk. But I really, really believe those things. And now that I'm owning who I am and knowing that there's a reason I didn't own that before and a reason I own it now, because I don't call it egotistical anymore. I just call it knowing who I am and why I was put on this earth. And I know I was put on this earth to inspire people to be an inspiration. And that's it. And along the way, I've become a therapist. I've become a transformational coach. I am a trauma specialist because I went through my own trauma, and I made sure I've been trained up in every trauma modality that I could, so I could pull out that arsenal as a licensed marriage family therapist. But as a trauma specialist, as a transformational coach, that is my sweet spot, because we can heal faster than we realize. It's one insight away, just one insight away from recognizing the mask that we're wearing. And I know I owe a few people some sessions that I promised in Kauai, and I'm going to contact them now. Just so you know, I've been still fighting the battle. There's just a little bit of poison still left in my system. And so I'm just being so careful with my self-care, pacing out. I come first. If I don't come first, I can't give to you. And I want that also to be an inspiration to you. Put on the oxygen first so you can give to others. If we don't put ourselves first, we're going to die, and they'll die too. That's the oxygen scenario. I've got a video on that somewhere on my YouTube. Anyway, I don't usually do a video on Sunday. And yet I just felt that I wanted the privilege to do this and say that I'm no Carole King. I've been singing her music all my life. I got the privilege of seeing Beautiful, the musical, with my brother and his wife. They didn't know Carole King is one of my favorite artists. And when I'm working on a healing room in my house, I'm going to put the lyrics on the wall, along with some Pink Floyd and, the Rocker Chick and Me, some other stuff, and some prayers and other things. But I just want you to know that you can be the inspiration too. And if I own that I wasn't beautiful, what the heck are you owning that's not true too? What lie are you telling yourself that you've lived through in your life? Have a great day and be blessed and be beautiful. Bye.